2 months after his young wife Maggie died of cancer, Chris Weaver decided he needed to be strong. So he called Mariah McDonald at Revelation Fitness in Austin. The rest is victory.
Every day of everybody's life is precious. And so we made a conscious decision very early on, literally in the hospital, to not let the cancer or the treatment of the cancer run our lives. It was life first, cancer second, if third or fourth or fifth. And that's the way we did everything. We actually talked about, her not going back to law school and us just doing something, going on a cruise. And she said, absolutely not. That means the cancer wins. This is my dream. I'm going to pursue my dream. Also, part of our dream was me going back to school and getting my MBA. And that was another thing we talked about not doing. And she said, no, this was her thing. She said, absolutely not. If we do that, the cancer wins. So every day, we lived our life like there was no cancer until we couldn't do that anymore. One day, the doctor told her she needed to shut her law practice down. And I think that that's really when things got tough. That was a very hard punch in the gut, the first of a lot more to come. My whole existence for living was gone. I was literally a broken shell of a man. I was disoriented. I was completely lost. I went from my life being about us together to my life being about taking care of her, to it being completely, every single moment taking care of her, to nothing. And it is a empty, terrible, terrible place to be. There's no taste at food, there's no joy, there's nothing. It's just, it's a terrible, terrible place to be. When I met Mariah, I knew I was in such a rut of doing nothing. I knew that I had to change something. And to create change, you've got to bring a lot of energy into something to make it change. And that's what I thought Mariah would do. I didn't know what to expect. I was a little nervous. I was a lot nervous, actually. But I didn't see how it could be negative. It could only be positive. And especially after hanging out with her the 2 times I did and seeing her positive energy, I hoped it would be. I was nervous and excited, and I thought she was crazy. She had this spirit of we're going to light the world on fire, and we're going to make you into an underwear model, and you're going to be this hot creature, and you're going to lift these cars over your head and do amazing feats of human strength. And I thought, oh, this lady's crazy. There's no way. I'm a little bitty guy. Mm-hmm. I was wrong. I worked out 7 days a week. Before then, I've never really worked out a whole lot. I've always kind of tried to stay trim. Now it is what I do, and that's my time. The time I spent with Mariah began to drive a rhythm for me. Laying in bed after my wife died, with my life completely collapsed, there was nothing moving. And meeting with her, working out every day, was a beat that started. Using that beat is how I started building the rest of my life. Other things started adding in. Always following that rhythm, every day, working out. From that was the support that I built everything else. During the workouts, my body screamed. It was terrible. But what was unique about that particular time is that my mind was absolutely silent. And it got to be almost a zen-like state while I was lifting these weights. That was a unique thing for me during the day, because the rest of the day was filled full of sorrow, memories, just pain. And so those moments in time, while Mariah and I worked together, I got to be quiet just for a little while. It was a very different state of mind for me. What I've seen Mariah do is amazing. With Maggie's sister, amazing. Amazing. With Maggie's friend, amazing. Absolutely stunning. The fact that my wife can impact other people's lives in a positive manner, still to this day, is great. And to have Mariah help and be kind of the embodiment of that training, that positive spirit is fantastic. Maggie leaving us hit people's... it was one of those things that's just hard to believe. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. It's lightning striking in a very random sense. And because of that, it shocked people to their core. It caused people to really question everything. Having people build positive stuff out of this is allowing everybody to grow. So the pictures at the very end of the sessions with Mariah is to freeze that moment in time is when you look the absolute best. You get a professional photographer, you get dressed in scantily clad gym wear, and they take these pictures to just show off all your efforts, the results of all your efforts, to freeze it in time. It's a transformational magic. She is so good at what she does. I have numerous friends that talk to me about the program and say, why did you do that? How did you do that? All these other things. And I always tell them the same thing. I say, how many times have you hired a personal trainer? And a lot of them say, oh, I've had many personal trainers. And I said, how good did they do? What change in your life did they cause? They said, well, they helped me work out a little bit. I said, that's not the question I asked. I said, did they change your life? And they always say, no. I said, you wasted your money. Mariah changed my life.
For more Revelation Nation stories of transformation, visit us at revelationfit.com.